Most seniors over 60 try to fix their bone health the hard way. They assume that building density requires grueling gym sessions, hours on a treadmill, or complex weightlifting routines that feel intimidating or risky. They believe specialized equipment or a personal trainer is necessary just to maintain strength in their bones and joints. This approach often leads to discouragement, burnout, and ultimately giving up because it feels like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. But there is a simpler, more effective routine that actually works. It involves working smarter, not harder, by transforming the walking you already do. We have taken complex principles of orthopedic wellness and biomechanics and simplified them into a safe, evidence-based 10-minute circuit. This routine is based specifically on research focusing on axial loading and balance training for older adults. By using targeted movements to apply necessary low-impact stress to specific areas like the hips, spine, and wrists, we can signal the body to increase bone cell activity without major disruption to your daily life. Here are the 10 bone-building hacks and fixes to transform your walk into a density-boosting power session. Number 1. The heel drop, impact force transfer. Next, we move to targeting the ankle bones, the shin, and indirectly the lower back and pelvis. This is done through a movement called the heel drop and lift. How to do it? Stand tall on a flat surface. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as you comfortably can. Hold for a 2 count at the top. Then, with deliberate attention, slowly lower your heels back down. The rhythm should be slow, 3 seconds up, hold for 2 seconds, and 3 seconds down. Aim for 10 repetitions, rest for 10 seconds, and repeat for 3 total sets. Why it works? This move improves the mechanical force transfer from the ground up. By controlling the descent, you are engaging the calf muscles and the shins to manage the load of your body weight. Fast, jerky movements must be avoided entirely, as they do not engage the muscles properly and can strain the Achilles tendon. Progression. If you are ready for a bigger challenge, you can use the bottom step of a staircase or a sturdy curb. Stand on the edge so your heels hang off. When you lower, let your heels dip slightly below the level of the step to get a controlled, gentle stretch before pushing up again. This increases the range of motion and intensity. Always use a wall or railing for support. This is a strength exercise, not a balance test. Number 2. The controlled pause. Maximizing the signal. Within the power march, there is a hidden mechanic that amplifies the benefit, the controlled pause. How to do it? When you lift your knee to its peak, hold it there for a brief moment. Do not simply drop the leg immediately. Hold that knee at the top, create a controlled pause, and then slowly lower it back down. Why it works? The key is to make this a controlled rhythmic action, avoiding fast or bouncy movements. We want to maximize the time spent challenging the standing leg. This specific timing forces the stabilizing muscles around the hip to engage longer, increasing the intensity of the signal sent to the bone without adding external weights. The slow lowering phase is just as important as the lift, as it improves eccentric muscle strength, which aids in balance. Number 3. The power march, vertical axial loading. The first change to your routine involves a specific type of marching designed to load the hip joint vertically. We call this the power march. Instead of just walking forward, you will find a secure spot next to a sturdy chair or countertop. How to do it? Lift one knee up, aiming to bring your thigh parallel to the floor or as high as comfortably possible. The goal here is not speed, it is height and control. If you cannot lift the knee high, a slight lift of just an inch or 2 is enough to start the bone-building process. You will perform this for 30 seconds on the left leg, then 30 seconds on the right leg. Why it works? This action applies crucial, safe, vertical load directly through the head of your femur, the top of your thigh bone, and into the hip socket. This is one of the most critical areas for preventing age-related bone loss. By lifting the leg, you are using the weight of the limb and gravity to create a weight-bearing stimulus that standard walking does not fully provide. Safety note: focus on keeping your upper body tall. Do not lean away from the lifting leg. Try to keep your weight balanced directly over the standing foot. If balance is a concern, keep 2 fingers lightly touching your support. You should feel the muscle working, not the joint hurting. Number 4, the seated rock. The arthritis fix. For those who find standing difficult or suffer from severe foot or ankle arthritis, there is an excellent chair-friendly option that ensures you do not miss out on bone stimulation. How to do it? Sit tall in a sturdy chair. Keep your heels on the ground and lift your toes high off the floor, holding for a few seconds. Then keep your toes down and lift your heels high. You will rock back and forth between lifting toes and lifting heels. Perform this for a full 90 seconds, focusing on a slow, deliberate rocking motion. Why it works. This simple rocking motion engages the shin muscles and applies gentle rhythmic pressure through the ankle joints. It mimics the load of standing exercises without the full stress of body weight. It is a safe, effective way to maintain joint health and stimulate bone tissue in the lower legs, making it a great starting point for anyone dealing with pain. Number 5, the wide stance walk, engaging deep stabilizers. The final movement to add to your walk addresses how we carry ourselves. When people walk, they naturally put one foot almost directly in front of the other. For bone building, we want to change that pattern to induce stability challenges. How to do it? Find a safe 10-foot area in your home, such as a long hallway. Start walking, but deliberately place your feet shoulder-width apart or wider, as if you are walking on 2 parallel lines. Do 60 seconds of this wide, slow walking. Think about placing your heel down first, rolling onto your forefoot, and pushing off with your toes. Why it works. You will immediately notice that your body has to work harder to maintain stability. The wide stance forces your hip abductors and rotators, the deep stability muscles, to fire. This muscle contraction compresses and stimulates bone growth deep within the hip socket. The body's natural response to finding stability in this new posture is exactly what builds bone. Number 6, the posture correction, the anti-slouch hack. There is one critical mistake that almost completely negates your effort: slouching. The problem: when you slouch, the curve in your upper spine, thoracic spine, rounds forward. This shifts the weight off the critical vertebral bodies and puts pressure on the discs and ligaments instead. This drastically reduces the vertical load necessary to stimulate bone density in your spine. The fix: when you walk, imagine a string gently pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Pull your shoulder blades slightly back and down, as if you are trying to gently tuck them into your back pockets. Why it works. This upright posture ensures that the forces generated by your walking are correctly channeled through your spine and into your hips, maximizing bone stimulation. Even a slight correction engages your core and instantly makes you feel more stable and confident. This simple adjustment is the fastest hack for improving stability. Number 7, the calcium carrier, vitamin D optimization. You can walk all day, but if your body does not have the building blocks, those bone-building signals will fall on deaf ears. Bone is living tissue that needs ingredients to rebuild. Most people think of calcium, but calcium is useless unless it has a ride to the bone-building site. The fix: that carrier is vitamin D. Its primary role is to ensure your gut can efficiently absorb the calcium you eat. Without enough vitamin D, you might as well be flushing that extra glass of milk down the drain. Implementation: seniors often struggle with vitamin D absorption because skin synthesis from sunlight decreases with age. Do not rely solely on the sun. Focus on dietary tweaks like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, fortified milk, cereals, orange juice, and egg yolks. Crucially, talk to your doctor about a daily vitamin D3 supplement. It is the single most important nutrient supplement for bone health after 55, with a target often between 800 and 1,000 international units per day. Verify dosage with your physician. Number 8. The collagen connector. Protein as rebar beyond calcium, we must address the structural frame of the bone. Bone is not just a hard, rock-like substance, it is a flexible matrix. The concept: think of bone as reinforced concrete. Calcium is the hard aggregate, but collagen is the steel rebar providing flexible strength and shock absorption. The quality of your collagen framework is what prevents bone from shattering under stress. Most seniors focus too much on calcium and forget about this critical protein. The fix: we need protein to create this robust collagen network. This means ensuring a healthy serving of high-quality protein at every meal, not just dinner. Aim for about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to support optimal muscle protein synthesis. Practical additions: add a scoop of collagen peptides or protein powder to morning coffee or smoothies. Eat a handful of nuts or seeds, almonds, chia, flax, as a snack. Switch white bread for whole grains with higher protein content. Add lentils, beans, lean poultry or fish to meals. Number 9. The no weights rule. Preserving gait mechanics. A common question is whether to use special weighted vests or ankle weights to make the routine work. The answer is absolutely not. Why? For bone building, the most effective stimulus for the spine and hips is vertical axial loading, the force of your body weight pushing down against gravity. Your own body weight applied through targeted movements is more than enough. The risk: adding ankle weights can change your natural walking mechanics and gait. This alteration can actually increase the risk of trips or falls and strain your knee and ankle joints in unnatural ways. We want to reinforce natural, healthy movement patterns. Stick to the natural resistance of gravity and focus on the quality of your movement with good posture rather than the quantity of external weight. Number 10. The variability factor. 10 minutes versus 1 hour. You might wonder, I walk for an hour every day, why do I need this? Long, steady-state walking is fantastic for cardiovascular health, but it can become mechanically repetitive for your bones. The reality: your body quickly adapts to familiar patterns and the bone-stimulating signal plateaus. This 10-minute routine introduces the essential element of variability and targeted instability. Why it works? The power march provides a single-leg stance challenge. The heel drop uses a range of motion and muscle control not found in regular walking. The wide stance walk forces deep, stabilizing muscles to engage differently. It is the quality and variety of the load, not just the duration, that drives bone growth. Think of this routine as high-intensity interval training, HIIT, for your bones. Even if you have mild joint pain, walking is essential because low-impact movement stimulates joint cartilage to produce synovial fluid, acting as a natural lubricant. Bottom line, bone remodeling is a marathon, not a sprint. It typically takes 6 to 12 months of consistent effort to see measurable improvements on a DEXA scan. However, functional improvements, better balance, walking taller and feeling more stable, will arrive much faster, likely within 4 to 6 weeks. If you know someone over 50 who's worried about losing leg strength or balance, send them this video. And if you want more simple, science-backed ways to stay strong and independent as you age, hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.